What's up guys, this is Masi. Welcome to another video. In this video I want to solve different examples regarding finding the equation of line. So I want to show you how to find the equation of line, and I provided you different styles and different types of question you might get in order to find the equation of line. So the first one, it says find the equation of line with slope of 2 and y-intercept of -3. So when we are talking about equation of line, we have two forms. One of them is like that, y equals to mx plus b, and the other one is going to be like ax plus by plus c equals to 0. The first one is called slope intercept form, and the second one is called standard form. We can always change the standard form to the slope intercept form. Slope intercept form is sometimes called sloped y-intercept form. So as you see here, m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Y-intercept means where line crosses the y-axis. So for example, in this case, this point is the y-intercept. And what about the slope? Slope is rise over rho. So y equals to mx plus b, m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. And x and y, x is the independent variable and y is the dependent variable. So in this question it says find the equation of line when the slope is 2 and y-intercept is -3. So I can say y equals to 2x minus 3. That's the equation of line, 2x minus 3. Next one, it says find the equation of line with slope of 3 and x-intercept of 1. So again, I can write equation of line mx plus b. Again, m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. But here in this example, x-intercept is given and y-intercept is not given. So let's say, what is x-intercept? X-intercept is where line crosses the x-axis. It means that the y component of x-intercept is 0. As we saw before, in y-intercept, the x component of this point is always 0. So the slope is given. I'm going to write y equals to 3x plus b. And then, since the x-intercept is given, I'm gonna sub this point in the formula. X-intercept 1, it means that it's 1 and 0. X is 1, y is 0. I sub it in here. 0, 3 times 1 plus b. It means that 0 equals to 3 plus b, and it means that b equals to -3. So when I want to write the equation of line, it's going to be 3x minus 3. Didn't ask for graphing, but if you want to graph it, it's going to be something like that. So -3 is there, y-intercept is going to be somewhere here, and since the slope is 3, it means that it's positive, and it's going to be something like this line. That's going to be the equation of line, and the graph is going to be pretty much something like this. In this example, it says find the equation of line with slope of -3 and passes through the point 2 and -1. So again, I'm gonna say the equation of line is y equals to mx plus b, when m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. As you see here, m is given, but we need to find out the value of b. So it's going to be y equals to negative 3x plus b. So how to find b? We need to use this point here to sub it in the formula to find b. So y is negative 1. Here we have negative 3 times 2 plus b. So we have negative 1. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 plus b. So when you isolate b, it means that you need to move negative 6 to the other side. It's going to be positive 6 minus 1, which is 5. So the equation of line is going to be y equals to negative 3x plus 5. So the slope of this example is negative 3, and the y-intercept of this line is positive 5. Next one, it says find the equation of line passes through the points. So we have 2 points in here, and we need to find out the equation of line. As you've seen so far, we were talking about finding equation of line, and all these 3 previous questions, slope was given. But here, we don't have any information about the slope. Instead of having slope and a point, we have 2 points here. So we need to find out the slope first. M is the slope, sometimes called rate of change, sometimes called gradient. It is going to be the difference in y's divided by difference in x's, like y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. You could also say that y1 minus y2 divided by x1 minus x2. So in this example, the x component is here. That's the y component, x component, and y component. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So it's going to be 4 minus negative 2 divided by negative 1 minus positive 1. So it's going to be 4 plus 2 divided by negative 2. That's going to make it 6 divided by negative 2, and it will be negative 3. So the slope is going to be negative 3. So far we know it's going to be y equals to negative 3x plus b. We already found slope. We need to find out the y-intercept as well. So we can use any of these points, doesn't matter which one we select, to sub it in the formula. Negative 1 and 4, let's check this one. Let's use it. 4 is y, negative 3 times negative 1 plus b, which will be 4 equals to negative 3 times negative 1 is going to be positive 3 plus b. So b will be equal to 1. So the equation of line will be y equals to negative 3x plus 1. This is the equation of line. Negative 3 is the slope and 1 is the y-intercept. Now in this question it says find the equation of line passing 1 and 3 and y-intercept of negative 1. So again we are dealing with 2 points in here. There is no slope. So the points are 1 and 3, and the other one is going to be, we already said that the y-intercept, they have x equals to 0 and negative 1 in here. So we need to find slope or rise over run, which is going to be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So it's going to be 3 minus negative 1, the difference of y's, divided by difference of x's, which is 1 minus 0. That's going to be 3 plus 1 divided by 1, which is going to be 4 divided by 1, or 4. So the slope or rate of change or rise over run or gradient is going to be 4. Y equals to 4x plus b. Now how to find b here? We can sub this point in here to find out the value of b, but as you know, b is the y-intercept, and y-intercept of this equation is already given, so we don't really need to solve it because that's already given, which is equal to negative 1. So the equation is going to be 4x minus 1. That's the equation of line. Next example. This example, it says, find the equation of line with the y-intercept of 2 and x-intercept of negative 3. So, as we said earlier, y-intercept is going to be somewhere that line crosses the y-axis, and x-intercept is where line crosses the x-axis. So, it's going to be pretty much line like that. So again, the slope is not given, but 2 points are given. The first one is going to be y-intercept of 2 is going to be 0 and 2, because x is 0 for y-intercept. And here we have x-intercept of negative 3, which will be negative 3 and 0. Now let's find out the slope or rise over run. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Let's say it's going to be 2 minus 0 divided by 0 minus negative 3. So it's going to be 2 divided by negative times negative positive, so it's going to be 2 over 3. You could also write it the other way around. You could say 0 minus 2 divided by negative 3 minus 0, which is going to be negative 2 divided by negative 3. When you cancel them out, it's going to be again 2 over 3. So it doesn't matter which one you select as the first point, which one is going to be the second point. So far we have y equals to 2 over 3 x plus b. And again, the y-intercept is given, which is 2. So b is 2. I can write y equals to 2 over 3x plus 2. That's the equation of line for this question. In this example, it says, find the equation of line with the slope of 2 and y-intercept of the line y equals to 3x minus 2. So, if I write y equals to mx plus b, we need to find out the slope and y-intercept. It says the slope is 2, so m is 2 plus b, and it says the y-intercept as this line. So as you see, this line, it says 3x minus 2. The slope for this line is 3, and y-intercept is negative 2. It says that it has the same slope, so it means that b is negative 2. So we're going to write it 2x minus 2. So the slope is 2, and the y-intercept is negative 2. Next example. Find the equation of line with passing 2 and negative 3, and x-intercept as 2x plus 3y minus 1 equals to 0. So in this example, there is no information about slope. We need to use the point in here, and we need to find out the x-intercept of this line. This equation of line is in terms of standard form, so it means that I need to change it to slope y-intercept form. It is not necessary, but you can change it. You don't have to do it, because it says x-intercept as this one. So when we are talking about x-intercept, it means that the y is 0. So let's find out the x-intercept of this line. It's going to be 2x plus 3 times 0 minus 1 equals to 0. So it's going to be 2x minus 1 equals to 0. So 2x equals to 1. And we can say that x equals to 1 over 2. So we can conclude that the x-intercept is 1 over 2 and 0. Now we have 2 points. One of them is half and 0. The other one is 2 and negative 3. We need to find out the slope first. It's going to be negative 3 minus 0 divided by 2 minus 1 over 2. That's going to be negative 3, and here we have 2 minus half, which is going to be 1.5. So the slope is going to be negative 3 divided by 1.5, which is going to be negative 2. So the formula is y equals to negative 2x plus b so far. we need to find out the y-intercept as well. How can I do that? I'm gonna use one of these 2 points. Doesn't matter which one you select, both of them supposed to give you the final answer. I'm gonna use this answer. So y is 0, negative 2 times x, which is 1 over 2, plus b. So you have negative 2 times half is going to be negative 1 plus b. So it means that b is 1. So now we have the m, we have the b. So the final formula, final equation of line is going to be negative 2x plus 1. That's the equation of line. This example, it says find the equation of line parallel to y equals to 3x minus 1 and passing through the point 0 and 2. When we are talking about parallel lines, it means that we are talking about lines with the same slope. So the slope of these 2 lines must be the same. And since it says the line is going to be parallel to y equals to 3x minus 1, it means that m is 3. So we can say y equals to mx plus b. M is 3, so 3x plus b. And the point is 0 and 2. 0 and 2, it means that we are talking about y-intercept. So it's going to be y equals to 3x plus 2. That's the equation of line. Next one, it says find the equation of line perpendicular to line with the equation of y equals to negative 2x plus 3 and passing through the point 2 and 6. When we are talking about perpendicular line, it's going to be something like that. When they cross each other, they form a right triangle with 90 degrees. What's the relationship between the slopes of 2 perpendicular lines? We can say the slope of one of them is going to be negative 1 over the slope of the other one. Or we can say m1 times m2 is going to be always equals to negative 1. For example, in this case, since one of the line is negative 2, the other line which is perpendicular to this line has to be positive 1 over 2. So it means that we change the sign and we also flip the number. So the equation that we are looking for, we already know the slope because it's perpendicular to this line. And as we said, it's going to be positive 1 over 2x plus b. We don't know b, but we can use this formula to find out the value of b. 2 and 6, y is 6. 1 over 2 times 2 plus b, which is going to be 6 equals to 1 plus b, and therefore we can say that b equals to positive 5. Therefore we can say the final equation is going to be y equals to 1 over 2x plus 5. That's the final answer to this question. In this example, we have find the equation of line parallel to y equals to negative x plus 4 and y-intercept of 2x minus y plus 1 equals to 0. So we are looking for the equation of line y equals to mx plus b, and the line is going to be parallel to this one. As I said before, when we are dealing with parallel lines, it means that we are talking about the same slope. So the slope of this line is going to be the same as the slope of this line, which is going to be equal to negative 1, because the coefficient of x here is negative 1. So we have y equals to negative x plus b. And then the second part of this question says that the y-intercept is the same as the y-intercept of this line. So as you see here, this line, we have it in standard form, which we need to change it to slope y-intercept form in order to be able to find out the value of y-intercept. So I'm gonna isolate y, so 2x minus y plus 1 is 0. I need to move y to the other side, it's gonna be positive, and here we have 2x plus 1. So it means that b will be equal to 1. if you compare it with the slope y-intercept form. So b is 1, m is negative 1. So the final formula is going to be negative x plus 1. That's the final equation of line. Next example, it says find the equation of line perpendicular to y equals to negative 1 over 3x minus 1 and x-intercept of 3x minus 2y minus 1 equals to 0. Again, we are talking about two perpendicular lines, and as I said earlier, when we are dealing with perpendicular lines, the slope of one line is going to be negative 1 over slope of the other one. It means that in this example, it says the line is perpendicular to this line, which means that the slope of this line is negative 1 over 3. So it means that our line is going to be positive, inverse of 1 over 3, which is going to be just normal 3. So we have y equals to 3x plus b. How to find b? We need to use this point here. It says the x-intercept of 3x minus 2y minus 1. When we are dealing with x-intercept, it means that their y is 0. So let's put y equals to 0. So it's going to be 3x minus 2 times 0 minus 1 equals to 0. It's going to be 3x equals to 1. So x will be 1 over 3. So we are talking about this point, which is 1 over 3 and 0. So let's put this number in here, and then we find out the value of b. So y is 0. 3 times 1 over 3 plus b, which is going to be 0 equals to 1 plus b. B is going to be negative 1. So the final equation of line is going to be y equals to 3x minus 1. That's the final equation of line. This example, it says find the equation of line parallel to the x-axis and passes through the point 2 and negative 3. So when we are talking about a line parallel to the x-axis, it means that it has to be something like this or something like this. It says it's passing through the point 2 and negative 3. 2 and negative 3 is going to be somewhere like this. When we are having a line parallel to the x-axis, it means that we are dealing with an horizontal line, and on this line all the points have the same y values. As you see here, at any point on this line is going to be y equals to negative 3. So the equation of line is going to be equal to just negative 3. That's the special case, and when we are dealing with a horizontal line, we need to have the equation of line as y equals to a constant number. So it has to be, it can be y equals to negative 3, y equals to negative 1, y equals to positive 5. But in this example, since it's passing through the point 2 and negative 3, the answer is going to be, the equation is going to be y equals to negative 3. Next example, it says find the equation of line perpendicular to the x-axis and passes through the point negative 1 and positive 4. So again, it says perpendicular to the x-axis. So it means that we are dealing with a vertical line like this, or like this, or like this. It says it passes through the point negative 1 and positive 4. So it's going to be a line like that. As you see here, on this line, which is a vertical line, all the values of x are the same. So we can say that the equation of line is x equals to negative 1. This is another special case for finding the equation of line. When we are dealing with a vertical line, x equals to a constant number. As you see here, for vertical line, the rise over run, there is no run, and we have just rise. It means that the slope of this kind of line is undefined. So for vertical line, the slope of this line is undefined. On the other hand, for horizontal line, the slope is 0 because there is no rise and we have just run. So rise over run is going to be 0, and the equation of line is going to be equal to y equals to a constant number. And for vertical line is going to be x equals to a constant number. Now in this example it says find the equation of line parallel to the y-axis and passes through the point 1 and negative 4. It says parallel to y-axis. This is the y-axis. The point is positive 1 and negative 4. It's going to be somewhere like that, and parallel to y-axis is going to be something like that. Vertical line, so it has to be x equals to a constant number because all the x values on this line is going to be the same, which is equals to the x value in here. So the equation of line is going to be x equals to 1. That's it. As I said, vertical line, they have the slope of undefined number. In this example, it says find the equation of line perpendicular to the y-axis and passes through the point 4 and negative 3. Again, it says perpendicular to the y-axis. This is a y-axis. Perpendicular to that one is going to be a horizontal line. The point is 4 and negative 3. That's 4, and this is negative 3. It's going to be the perpendicular to y-axis. It's going to be horizontal line. It's going to be like that because that's perpendicular to the y-axis. And as you see here on this line, all the points is going to be equals to y equals to negative 3. So the equation of line is going to be y equals to negative 3, and that makes sense because we said for all horizontal lines we have y equals to a constant number. In this example it says a line has a gradient of 8 and passes through the points 2 and 3. Find the equation of line. Gradient is the same as slope. It means that when you're writing y equals to mx plus b, m is 8 and it passes through the point 2 and 3. So let's sub it there. It's going to be 3 equals to 8 times 2 plus b, which is going to be 3 equals to 8 times 2 is 16 plus b. So b will be 3 minus 16, which will be b equals to negative 13. So y will be equal to 8x minus 13. That's the equation of line. Next one, it says find the equation of line passing through the point negative 2 and 0 and parallel to x equals to 0. What does that mean, x equals to 0? X equals to 0, it means that we are talking about the y-axis. Parallel to the y-axis, it means that we are talking about the vertical line. And on vertical lines, we have this kind of equation of line, which is x equal to a constant number. And since it has to pass through the point negative 2 and 0, it means that this vertical line is going to be equals to x equals to negative 2. That's the equation of line. In this example, it says find the equation of a vertical line passing through the point negative 1 and 4. So again, you're talking about the vertical line passing through negative 1 and 4. Has to be x equals to negative 1. That's the special case, and at any point on this line is we have the same values for x. Next one, it says find the equation of a horizontal line passing through the point of 2 and negative 3. 2 and negative 3 is going to be somewhere like this, and horizontal line is going to be like that, and all y values are going to be the same. So it's going to be y equals to a negative 3. Like all other horizontal lines, we have y equals to a constant number. This example, it says write the equation of line passing through the point 4 and 2 and parallel to y equals to negative 3 over 4x minus 5. So y equals to mx plus b. Here it says parallel to y equals to negative 3 over 4x minus y. Again, when we are dealing with the two parallel lines, it means that we are talking about the same slope because the rise over run is the same. So we have y equals to negative 3 over 4x plus b. How to find b? We need to use this point in here. So again, for finding the equation of line, we need to have either 2 points or we need to have 1 point and the slope. So we sub 4 in as x and 2 in here. It's going to be 2 equals to, let's simplify to negative 3. So it can say that b equals to positive 5. So the equation of line is going to be y equals to negative 3 over 4x plus 5. That's the final answer. Next one, it says find the equation of line passing through the points negative 5 and 7 and 2 and 3. Again, we are talking about 2 points here. We need to find out the slope first. Difference of y's divided by difference of x's. 7 minus 3 divided by negative 5 minus 2, which is going to be 4 divided by negative 7. Or negative 4 divided by 7. After that, we can write the equation of line. We know the m. We need to find out b as well. So y equals to negative 4 over x, 7 times x plus b. In order to solve it, we need to sub one of the numbers. I'm gonna choose this one. Doesn't matter which one you select. So 2 and 3, it means that y is 3 and x is positive 2. So it's going to be 3 equals to negative 8 over 7 plus b. It means that b equals to 3 plus 8 over 7, which means that 21 over 7 plus 8 over 7. That's going to be 29 over 7. So the equation of line would be y equals to negative 4 over 7x plus 29 over 7. Or you can also say y equals to 1 over 7 times negative 4x plus 29 if you factor 1 over 7. Now in this equation it says, this question, so find the slope-intercept form of the line passing through the points negative 5 and 3, which is perpendicular to the vertical line passing through the points 0 and negative 1. Says perpendicular to the vertical line passing through this point. This point is 0 and negative 1. Vertical line passing through this point is going to be just y-axis. Any line perpendicular to the y-axis, it means that we are dealing with an horizontal line. When we are dealing with a horizontal line, it means that y has to be equal to a constant number. And since it's passing through the point negative 5 and 3, it means that y has to be equal to 3. So that's going to be the equation of line. Y equals to 3. Next example. Find the slope-intercept form of the line passing through 2 and negative 18, which is parallel to the line y equals to 10. Y equals to 10 is going to be line like that. And since it says parallel to this line, it means that, again, we are dealing with a parallel line. Parallel line passing through the point 2 and negative 18, it means that has to be equal to y equals to a constant number. And since it's passing through this point, it's going to be y equals to negative 18. Because on this line, which is a horizontal line, all the y number is going to be the same. In this example, it says find the slope-intercept form of the line through 4 and 14 and with slope of 0. When it says slope of 0, it means that we are dealing with an horizontal line. And for a horizontal line, we have y equals to a constant number. And since it's passing through this point 4 and 14, it means that the equation of line is going to be equal to y equals to 14. Next one, it says find the slope-intercept form of the line passing through the point -3 and -26, which is parallel to the line y equals to x plus 0. It says parallel to this line, and this line has the slope of 1. So it means that m is 1. So when we are dealing with y equals to mx plus b, m is 1, so it's going to be x plus b. Now let's sub this point here to find out the y-intercept. So we have -26, -3 plus b. So b is going to be, you are isolated, -26 plus 3 is going to be -23 equals to b. So y will be equal to x minus 23. That's going to be the equation of line. The slope is 1 and the y-intercept is -23. This example, it says write an equation of line that is parallel to line created by these two and passes through the point 10 and -2. It says has to be parallel to the line passing through these 2 points. So it means that they have to have the same slope. Let's find out the slope in here. It's going to be the difference of y's divided by difference of x's, which is 2 minus -4. 4 minus 3 is 1. 2 minus -4 is going to be 2 plus 4, which is going to be 6. So the equation is going to be y equals to 1 over 6x plus b. And in order to find the value of b, we need to use this point because that's part of the line. So it has to be valid in here. So I'm going to sub 10 in here, -2 in here. So it's going to be -2, 1 over 6, 10 plus b. -2, 10 over 6 plus b. It means that b will be equal to -2, -10 over 6. When you do the common denominator, it's going to be -6 in here, -6 here. It's going to be -12, -10 divided by 6. That's going to be -22 over 6. When you reduce it, it's going to be -11 over 3. So the final equation is going to be y equals to 1 over 6x minus 11 over 3. That's the equation of line. Next one, write an equation of line that is perpendicular to the line created by these two and passes through the point 2 and 5. So let's find out the slope of this line passes through this point is going to be 8 minus 7, 0 minus 0, which is going to be 1 over 0. It means that that's going to be undefined. It says the line is going to be perpendicular to this line. When we are talking about the line which has the undefined slope, it means that we are dealing with a vertical line. And it says our line is going to be perpendicular to this line. It means that we are dealing with an horizontal line. And horizontal line is going to be in terms of y equals to a constant number. It says it is passing through this point, so it means that y has to be equals to 5, because as we said earlier, for horizontal lines, they have the same y values. This is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, please like it and share it with your friends. And if you have any question, please let me know. I try to have different types of questions regarding finding the equation of line. Thank you for watching and have a great day.